What's up everybody, I'm Joe and this is Hawaii Shores. In this video, we're going to be talking about the drain plugs. One of the most important things that you can remember when launching your personal watercraft is to remember to put the drain plugs back in. So important. Almost every personal watercraft has two different drain plugs in it, one on each side. This is a Sea-Doo GTX Limited 300. Here's one. All you have to do, screw it in. That's it. Sometimes it takes a little bit to catch the threads, but that's all right. Be patient with it. Don't force it because you don't want to strip the threads. There, make sure it's nice and finger tight. All right, now we'll do the other one on the other side. You can see this one's kind of hanging just like that. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to screw it in softly at first because we don't want to cross the threads, which will make this thing very difficult to screw in after, and perhaps you need to replace it. So take your time, make sure those threads are nice and aligned properly. Screw it in till it's finger tight and you're done. All right, so here's what's going on with that drain plug. This is an actual Sea-Doo drain plug part, and you can see it's got the screw in part here, and it's hanging by this little piece of plastic, which there's a catch in there, and it's being held on there so that when it's loose it isn't going to get lost. So it'll just sort of hang there and allow air to come in and go out in order to dry inside of the hull. So when you screw that back in, when you're ready to go on the water, you just screw it in, making sure not to cross the threads, and make it finger tight, and you're done. Now here you can see in there, there's a little white ball that's kind of floating loose in there. You can kind of see it from the other side too. That little ball in there, what that does is when this thing is in the water like this, and the water pressure from the lake is trying to fill your Sea-Doo with water, which is what you don't want to happen, it'll push that little white ball in there all the way to the end of this tube where it's tapered and make a relatively good seal so that the water doesn't actually come in. Now it does let in some water. It's not a lot, but it will let some in there. What that will do is give you enough time to remember, oh man, I forgot to put my drain plugs in. Take it back to the dock, reach there underwater, screw these things back in, and you're gonna have very minimal amount of water inside that hull. So that little ball in there shuts that off, so it's a kind of a safety catch. And remember, some of the older ones, some of the two-stroke ones, they don't have that ball in there. So if you don't have this drain plug in, it's going to fill your hull and potentially sink it. Make sure that you check it every single time that you put that boat in the water. When you're stopped in the parking lot and you're just checking everything out, you're taking your straps off, you're just getting your life preserver on, your key ready, everything ready, number one thing that you want to do is screw in those drain plugs. All right, another thing that you want to remember with your drain plugs is that when you pull your personal watercraft out of the water and you're on the boat ramp, you're on a nice angle where your boat is pointed toward where those drain plugs are. So all the water that's going to be in the bottom of your hull is going to rush to the end of your vehicle where the drain plugs are, and that will allow you to drain all of the water out of your hull. So when you first pull your personal watercraft out of the water and onto the ramp, stop, get out of the car, make sure your parking brake's on, get out of the car, and then go over and unscrew and open those drain plugs, and you'll see exactly how much water your boat has let in, and you'll drain all that stuff out. And then you can just leave them open and then pull it out of the boat ramp. All right, everybody, so what's the number one thing you have to remember when launching your personal watercraft? That's right, get those drain plugs in. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video.